What's going on, Vikings fans? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and the Minnesota Vikings just drafted two studs in round 6 of the 2025 NFL Draft, Kobe King and Gavin Bartholomew. We'll dive into both of those prospects here on today's show. But first off, let's start off with, honestly, this might be my favorite pick of the entire draft, considering where they were able to get him. And that's linebacker out of Penn State, Kobe King. And I will get this out here off the start of today's show. His pro comp is Ivan Pace Jr., 6-foot linebacker, undersized, struggles in coverage, but this dude flies around the football field. He had 97 tackles last year for Penn State, 9 TFLs, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, is a legit Ivan Pace Jr. clone. He plays with this sense of aggression and physicality out there. And here's our scouting report for him. Tom Downey actually had him as a top 150 player. But he's built really compactly, and he likes to blow through blockers and runners, very similar to our guy Ivan Pace. Shows some flashes as a stunt pass rusher. Who does that remind you of? Ivan Pace. And then he does have a lack of feel and fluidity in coverage, and that leads to plenty of issues. Who does that remind you of? Ivan Pace. So great in the run support. He's great when he's asked to blitz. And I think this was a move where it was kind of I'm going to call this a chess piece move for the Vikings, because Ivan Pace did have to miss some time last year due to injury. Just the natural, reckless style of play that he has. It's nice to have almost a carbon copy of him where you took him in the 6th round, where it's like, hey, let's just say Ivan Pace, he goes down for a couple of weeks. Kobe King just step right in and give you similar production there. So I'm a big fan of this move. But more on him in 2024, 97 tackles. He had 59 tackles in 2023. He's actually a twin brother of Kalen King, who is actually on the Green Bay Packers. He was a late-round pick last season, so some interdivisional rivalry there between the twin brothers. We did have Anthony Walker as his athletic comp. I see more Ivan Pace in there, but he also special teams player, 211 special teams snaps last season, really good power. He's a thumper. 22 years old, actually comes from Detroit. So he's from Detroit. Twin brother plays in Green Bay, and now he's playing with the Minnesota Vikings. But a 6'1" guy, 243 pounds. I love this. He was also a team captain for Penn State last season when they were going on their run. And he throws his body around, and he just hits, man. Literally, it is Ivan Pace Jr. And he also had an 8.03 RAS score. 4.32 in the shuttle and 7.19 in the 3-cone drill. All were pretty good or above average. He does get picked on in coverage, like I was saying, so very similar to Ivan Pace there. But if you guys could, grade the pick for me down below in the comment section. I'm going to give this, I'm always strict about especially my later round grades. I never like giving out A's, but I will give this an A-. I think this was a great move, and I do want to address something real quick before we dive into Gavin Bartholomew here, tight end out of Pittsburgh. Everybody's freaking out. Kobe Bryant was on the board. Why didn't we draft a safety? Why didn't we draft a corner? I think the Vikings are telling us right now, either 1, Asante Samuel's coming, or 2, they got a ton of faith in Theo Jackson, Mekhi Blackman, Dwight McGlothern, Isaiah Rodgers, Jeff Okudah. Like, they clearly really like that 5-man cornerback room. And if they like it, I like it. I'm going to trust in the coaching staff, one of the best in the National Football League. This roster stacked, and I love the pickup of Kobe King. But grade the pick for me, A, B, C, D, or F. Now we'll dive into Gavin Bartholomew here in a second. But first, I got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. And if you guys want to take the guesswork out of buying tickets, do so with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and plug in that promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now, Game Time also makes getting tickets even faster and easier, as prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to like first pitch for a Twins game, tip off for a Timberwolves game, and also Timberwolves, Lakers tomorrow, 2:30. That would be a hell of a game to go to. So if you guys want to, get $20 off, if you haven't made a purchase on Game Time just yet, please do so and plug in that promo code ChatSports. I also love their views from your seat feature, which you get a panoramic view of the stadium before you even buy the ticket. So Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account. Redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. One last time, download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Massive shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's show. Got that link for you guys in the comments section and description of today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports. All right, let's talk about him. The tight end, Gavin Bartholomew. Now, I wanted the Vikings to go Thomas Fedone II, the tight end out of Nebraska. I thought they were going to consider him, but they decided to go with the tight end out of Pittsburgh. Now, he's a 6'4.5" tight end, 246 pounds, and I just saw a clip on Twitter. He was playing Tennessee this past season. Caught a ball, running up the right sideline, hurdled the safety. This guy's a freak athlete. He had a 36.5-inch vertical leap, and he was a safety net for Pittsburgh last year. Also, I didn't even know this guy's rocking a mullet. Makes me love him even more. A tight end, quick little take here. A tight end with the last name Bartholomew, and he's rocking a mullet, and he's a 6th-round pick. How could you not be fired up about that? But he was targeted 51 times this past season for 38 receptions, went for 322 yards. So the production's not great, but I do think he could be a great inline blocker. And clearly the Vikings are trying to be a more physical football team. Also with his hair, he's got the cat scratch on the left side. That's electric. Mullet with the cat scratch. TJ Hawkinson better watch his back. This guy might be coming, but he's a solid athlete, doesn't fear contact whatsoever. He's willing to block, though he lacks power as a run blocker, but hey, he could learn from Josh Oliver here. Very stagnant production over his career, which you would like to see more production, but the Pittsburgh offense, they just kind of used him as an underneath weapon there. So, overall, this draft class for the Vikings, pretty interesting. Obviously they did not attack the secondary, which coming into the draft, if you told me secondary was the biggest position to need, I probably would have agreed with you, but they decided to go offense first 2 picks, and then get a couple guys on defense here. So, listen, 40-yard dash, 4.7, pretty solid, 36.5-inch vertical leap, bench press, 16 reps, and his shuttle was 4.3. So he's a pretty good athlete. Nothing great. Man, fantastic stuff, man. Fantastic stuff. I love both those picks. As we can just recap them here real quick. And we'll also have a grades video going out later tonight, so stay tuned for that. But Donovan Jackson, like that pick, gave that an A. Ty Felton, speedy wide receiver from Maryland. I like that pickup as well for the Minnesota Vikings. He'll probably be wide receiver 3. Love Jalen Naylor. Love Rondell Moore. But, you take a premium pick when you have limited draft capital. I'm assuming he's going to be the guy. And then they continued by going Ingram Dawkins, edge out of Georgia. This guy's got a lot of upside. 6'5". Guy's a freak, man. And I think this is somebody where Flores, where maybe it'll be a little gamesmanship where he'll bump him inside on certain pass rush sets where it's like, let's just say Jonathan Allen, Hargrave, they got to miss a game or something. Bump Ingram Dawkins inside. I like that pickup, taking the chance on a high upside guy. And then he took Kobe King, literally an Ivan Pace, not replacement, just an Ivan Pace backup. So I love that move. Really happy with the Vikings draft. And listen, I'm a young Vikings fan. I'm extremely optimistic about this group. I'm going to be positive about most of these guys, but truly, I feel good about this draft class. You're able to get 5 picks, get a tight end, a linebacker, offensive lineman, wide receiver, and you get an edge that can, he's extremely versatile as well. So speaking of Gavin Bartholomew, you guys grade the pick for me. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F down below in the comments section. How are you guys feeling? You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. I do quickly just want to wrap up today's show by just saying a thank you to all of you guys who have tuned in throughout this whole 2025 NFL draft. We have been live here on the channel for over 15 hours. Me and producer Dylan, we've been holding it down for you guys. So seriously, thank you guys so much for everybody who's tuned in, everybody who's supported the show, everybody who's watching all these videos. Really do greatly appreciate it. So shout out to all of you guys, and we'll see you later tonight for a grades video, and also tomorrow, UDFA tracker. Stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys next time. As always, Skol Vikes.